All right, good morning, everybody. I mean to tell you that this video is for nothing more than for me to just vent and rant about stuff. Anyways, driving to work this morning, came across two cars with hammer and sickle stickers on them. This outrages me to the point where I just want to run them off the road. I know I'm a God-fearing woman. I'm not going to do that. But I just want to run them off into a road. I want to run them off into a ditch. I want to go to their house. I want to pack their bags and send them to North Korea. If that's the type of government they want to live under, I'm sure North Korea would be happy to have them. They're always looking for new slaves. You know, it's ridiculous to me, people. You're driving around in a nice car with a hammer and sickle on the back of your car. You realize that in that type of government, that nice car is gone, right? It's not even an option for you. All those luxuries as you sit there and talk on your iPhone in your nice car with your nice clothes and your nice shoes, and you're on your way to your nice job, bitching about the freedom that you have to do those things. Seriously. I mean, this country is so ready for a gigantic enema, and I cannot wait for it to happen. I am like sitting here just waiting for it to pop off. I'm so tired of it. We cannot continue going down the road we're going. Okay? It's got to just be one way or the other, because all of this transition, you know, these people, they don't watch the news. They don't watch what's happening to Venezuela right now. Do they think things were great under Mao Zedong? Do they think things were great under Stalin? I mean, they killed their own people by the millions. And you have the audacity to run around with a hammer and sickle on your car in the one country that opposes those ideas. We oppose those ideas. We fought, we died, we bled, we warred against that ideology. And you have the nutsack to run around with one of these stickers on your car. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm sorry. As far as I'm concerned, all of them should be rounded up and sent off to a communist country, send them there for 2 months, then bring them back and find out if they want their United States citizenship back. These people have never been out of the town they've lived in, running around with a hammer and sickle on their car. I'm like, did you not pay attention in school? Did you not pay attention in history class? What is wrong with you? And right next to his hammer and sickle car, a man of quality is not threatened by a woman of after equality. What are you talking about? I have just as much equality as you do. I have the freedom to make my own choices. I have the freedom to vote. I have the freedom to work. I have the freedom to not get married if I don't want a patriarchal figure over me. I have equality. And this is another hair that crossed my butt today. If we're so gung-ho about women's equality, then why do we need a special day to honor us? It makes no sense. We don't have Man's Day. You know, I'd like to see that, actually. Let's have all the men go on strike tomorrow. You know? And see what kind of impact that has. The retardation is at an unsubstantiated level at this point in this country. There's so much stupid to go around, and people are just sucking it up. They're just eating it up. Give me another bowl of stupid. The fighting in the streets, You know, and I'm watching the political spectrum, and I'm seeing, you know, the Democrats sitting on there saying, well, we can't get anything done because of the Republicans. Well, the Republicans say, well, we can't get anything done because of the Democrats. They're leaning on the same crutch, and all the while, stupid little people are fighting over Black Lives Matter and feminism and all this other stupid stuff that means nothing. It means nothing. It means something because you've made it mean something. All lives matter. Period. End of discussion. Animal, human, doesn't matter. If it breathes, it matters. You know, I'm tired of seeing people who live in a country where they are free to make their own choices, not get off their butt and do something to improve their lives. Okay? You're listening to a woman right now who in her 20s was a drug addict, who was a sex addict, who was all over Hollywood doing what I should not be doing. I was homeless. Did I mention I was a drug addict? You know, we have the ability to change. We have the ability to be anybody we want to be. In this country, under this republic, we have that. Under our Constitution, we have the right to the pursuit of happiness. You don't have that in a communist society, idiot. You don't have that. Your choices are stripped from you. You don't have a choice to drive a nice car. You don't get to pick the career you want to pick. You don't get to go to school for what you want to go to school for. Your government will decide where they need your help. And that's what you will do with your life. Sound good to you? Oh, here's another tidbit of information. Homosexuals, people who are mentally handicapped, and so forth, they don't do well in these societies, okay? At all. If you're a homosexual, you can't produce to create more slaves for them. You're useless. So if you're a homosexual and you're spouting off about how we need socialism or communism, you might want to go do some research, okay? Because you're useless in their society. They may be using you now to further their agenda, but you're useless in their society. Go back in history and look at every single communist and socialist model, and you will see that. Make no mistake, you guys are all being played by a system that wants to enslave you. And you may be their best friends right now, but you're going to be the first to go. I'm sorry. That's just the truth of the matter. It's been proven time and time and time again. I love my fellow man, don't get me wrong, but I have a zero tolerance for stupidity. I have a zero tolerance for ignorance. I think I've made that quite clear. And I seriously just wanted to run this dude off the road. Oh, I thought that was the car right there. I was going to take a picture of it for you. And then I was going to go have a discussion with him because, you know what? Obviously, somebody needs to ask this guy, hey, have you ever been to North Korea? Have you been to Venezuela lately? You know, these things are happening, you guys. We can't pretend they're not happening. We can't pretend that they won't happen here. Our society is so weak and so fractured that we are prime for an invasion from another country. Do you realize that? Because we have no unity in this country at all. And a house divided against itself cannot stand. Time to wake up, people. It's time to wake up because I'm telling you, the water is swirling around the toilet bowl. Who's going to go down the drain? Who knows? But that water is swirling. Okay? And I'm telling you what, if you're out there and you're fighting for things that go against the grain of this country, that go against all godliness, then man, and I love it when they try to use God against me. Well, God was a communist. Jesus was a communist. What? There's a difference between living in community and being a communist. God did not create his people to be slaves. And he certainly did not create them to be under a ruler who was not godly. And let me tell you something, communist rulers are not godly. Okay? So don't even try and go there. Okay? We were not created to be in slavery. We were created to be with one master, and that is Yahweh himself. We're not created to live under man-made rulership. You know? Everything is so upside down. Everything is so upside down. We were told it was going to be this way. I mean, it really shouldn't come as a shock to me or anybody else what's going on in this country, but it irritates me. It's like a tick burrowing under my skin. You know, the fact that I have young children that have to grow up in this cesspool of bad ideology and no hope and no faith and no God. It just makes me so angry. It makes me angry that we have a president who wants to fix this stuff and his hands are tied. There is absolutely no reason, no excuse that legislation has not been passed by the Republicans right now on Obamacare, on immigration, on any of the things that are plaguing this nation right now. No policies have been pushed through. Why? The Republicans have the House and the Senate and a president waiting to sign whatever they put into law. It's time to get something done in this country. If it doesn't happen, who knows? You know, it's interesting, but, you know, if you guys have any thoughts on this, I would really like to hear them as far as where America is in biblical prophecy. Because I don't think it's there. I think at some point this country is going to become irrelevant. And that scares me beyond belief. I think it's going to become irrelevant. But I could be wrong. So because I don't know enough about it. But if you know anything about where America ends up in prophecy, I would really like to hear your thoughts. Because it interests me. But as far as I can tell, I don't see it in there. And it worries me. Because that means that this country is going to become irrelevant, which means that what we are seeing taking place in society right now is not going to be spun around. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse because you have the extremists on the left and you have the extremists on the right, and everybody in between is just quiet and not doing a thing. They're not saying anything. They're not doing anything. They don't want to be bullied by anybody, and they don't want to come off as a bully. So what is the saying? I think it something about the biggest crime is people who say nothing, who don't do anything. Because there's so many of us in the middle. We don't want to say anything. We don't want to protest. We don't want to get involved because what we see of those things are disgusting to us. When we see people out there protesting and throwing things at each other and fist fighting and beating up on old women, and I mean, come on. Completely lawless nation. Completely. That was one of the things that Trump said that I liked so much, is that we need to bring law and order back to this country. And that is so true. There is no law and order in this country. And we have become a lawless nation. Do what thou wilt is the whole of the law. Scary, scary times. Scary place to be in. I'm gonna try. Thank you for listening to me vent. And when I'm upset about this, it does help me because it helps me to get out my frustration and my anger. I don't like to put 5-mile long Facebook posts because my phone misspells everything and it takes me forever. I would much rather just come and sit here and yell and scream and do what I got to do to get it off my chest, and then go about my day and try and love people, but thank you for listening, and I hope you're blessed today. And use your voice, people. Use your voice in any platform you have. Make videos. Make Facebook posts. Get engaged. It is time to engage. And by saying that, I don't mean I'm calling for violence or anything like that, but it is time to engage. It is time to share, and it is time to pick a side and stand firmly where you plant your feet. Okay? I love you all. Have a blessed day. Talk to you next time.